Good morning, everybody. Lovely to see you today. So I'm just going to give you a little brief overview of Abbey College. I am actually in the college today. I'm not sitting outside. It's actually raining. I'm sitting inside with my webinar screen behind me. So the college was founded in 1990. We were part of the Abbey DLD group. We started as an A-level retake college. And over the last 30 years, we've grown in student numbers, we've grown in the types of courses we offer. We're now an international boarding school. We offer GCSEs, A-levels, an international foundation program and combined studies program. So the building has expanded over the time to fit the students, and we are celebrating our 30 years in September 2020, hoping to have an event in December. And we have a special logo that we've designed for that, which is on the next slide. And what you can see is that it actually contains the Manchester Bee, the Manchester Bee being a significance of the industrious working past of Manchester. So what we're going to talk about today is a bit about the college and a bit about what you can do when you've got your GCSEs. So in essence, our college provides you with a city centre experience. We are a small college, but we're in the city centre. It makes it accessible for people to travel in, and we're an ideal stepping stone to university. So it's different from being in a school. It's a sixth form college. We have expert teachers that support students in reaching potential. And because we're small and welcoming and familial, we all know each other. And that makes it much easier for you to be yourself. We're not trying to, you're not in a sense being pushed a square peg through a round hole. What we're doing here is we're saying you're you and we can work with you. And our small classes, maximum of 12 for academic subjects, help to facilitate that relationship we can build. Now, we are very supportive and friendly, and we have something called the 5 R's, which I'll come to later, which is a kind of framework that we help the student to help you as a student to be able to manage your time here. We have a very good curriculum which has lots of different pathways and to suit many different needs, and we provide lots of advice on university applications and destinations. Most of our students want to go to university, not all but most, and we can provide that sort of support. So I said I'm in the college today, so here's a few of the rooms set out. These pictures were taken before the lockdown, so actually some of the rooms will be set out with distancing stickers and so on, and that's around the college now. But it gives you a flavour of our basement suite, our photography suite, our ICT suite, and one of our labs. So in terms of the college, we are sometimes what's called a bit of a TARDIS. You come onto Cheapside and you see the glass-fronted building. And in actual fact, what you've got in the glass-fronted building are 7 floors of classrooms, of science labs, with our art studio, photography suite, our study centre, with our computer suites, and our college nurse who's located here is really important that you know that's there, especially at the moment. And then we have, of course, a range of enrichment activities as well. So the college itself then, city centre. Now, some of our students do board, and if boarding was of interest, then our boarding is at Riverside House. That's just a 15-minute walk away from the college, though our Riverside students will be bussed in and out of the college from September. We provide all the food, lunch and evening meals, and you have full security there with house parents to look after you. So it's a very lovely place to live with your own ensuite bedroom. So we are an international college, as I mentioned before, and this last academic year we had 44 nationalities represented in the college and around 40% of home students. So it's a really nice mix, and I think because no one nationality dominates, you get to know people from around the world, which is a microcosm really of what happens when you go to university and what actually it's like in the workplace now, with so many businesses being global. And I think this next quote sums up the college is like my second family. It's small, personal, there for me all the time, and offers all the support I need to achieve my dreams and aspirations. And I always think that's such a lovely summary of what we aim to do. So let's move on to the small classes. This is Gary Brady. He's the Director of Maths Faculty. He's teaching there. And what we can see as we move forward is, again, there's Lynn Davis. She's Head of Business and Economics. We see our small classes. We have that help and that support in a small environment. The 5 R's I mentioned earlier. So what we look at is this idea of getting in a routine, attending, being there on time, getting your homework done. We then move on to rigor, doing things in depth, listening to the advice of your teachers and learning in depth, doing your homework in depth. Now, this takes responsibility. What we're building in you is a responsibility for your own learning, because taking advice sometimes not easy. You know, you think you might know the way to do it, but actually taking responsibility for that. Exams, A-levels, GCSEs, they're not easy. So you need resilience. And I know that A-level students this time have had to show great resilience with some of the changes that have happened recently. But also you will get things right. Sometimes you'll get them wrong. You need to just keep trying, and we will support you in doing that. And in doing so, you can reflect upon what you've done, and then you can grow as an academic learner. And that's what's really important. And as a person as well. It's the whole person that's important to us at Abbey Manchester. So, the 20th of August, the GCSE results day like no other. Well, as we know, there has been a change in what's going to happen with GCSE results. So now the U-turn by the government off qual means that you will get your centre assessed grades. Now, I don't know at this moment whether they will be issued as normal on Thursday, or whether there will be a delay. We will obviously find out, and whatever happens, I know your school and we will do everything we can to make sure you get the information you need. Now, when you do get your results for your GCSEs, hopefully you'll be absolutely delighted and you'll be doing what you planned. Have you planned what you're doing for your next step, or are you waiting to see what you get? So if that's the case, you might want to consider coming to Abbey College and having heard about our environment. The other scenario is that your results are not as you hoped, and you might not have got the 5, 6, 7 grades required for A-level studies, or your 4 or 5s for BTEC, and need to retake. So at Abbey College, we offer retakes of 5 to 6 subjects. One other option is that you've got some good results, but they're not quite good enough for the A-level course you were hoping for. So what I would recommend first is speak to your school before making decisions. Speak to any college or school you've applied to and see what their solutions are. But if you're not finding a solution that would be helpful to you, then maybe Abbey College might be of assistance to you. So what are the options available to you at Abbey College Manchester? So first of all, we have a full retake programme. Now, we've offered this programme for many, many years, and it is popular. And the reason it's popular is that it's not something you can really do anywhere else. You can take 5 to 6 subjects maximum. We've got a list of the main subjects you take. Most people will do English, maths, then they will do the sciences, or they might do more of a kind of arts, humanities route, or a mixture. And what you do is you can retake some of the same subjects, or you could do something new. But the beauty of this course is we teach everything from beginning to end. So every part of the GCSE from beginning to end. 8 lessons per week per subject. So you get a lot of contact time. And if you're on the full programme, that's a full day of college each day. So what retaking is one option. Of course, if you have got the GCSE grades you require, or you're close, then A-levels are another option. We tend to have a slightly lower entry level than other more selective schools. We'd be looking at a minimum of 5 GCSE grade passes of 5 or above, and you would normally require a 6 or 7 to study the subjects that you want to do. 6s for everything, 7 for maths. Now, you might be marginal. You may be on the boundary line between a 5 and 6. You may have a mix of match. You might be wanting to study subjects where you've got 6s in some and 5s in others. So we are open to looking at that with you and suggesting a programme. And if you need to resit maths or English, then that's fine. You can do that in the November series, or you can do that over the year. Normally with A-levels, students take 3 subjects in a linear format, and the exams are taken at the end of the 2 years, which is the normal format for A-level. We will do testing along the way and assessments. Now at A-level, we have all these subjects available. We've got your sort of arts and photography, we've got your sciences, we've got business economics, we've got RS, psychology, English language, and we can accommodate French or German if there is a demand. So our results for this summer are there. That's based on the exam awards that were given out last Thursday. And as you can see, we've got very, very good results. So in terms of other programmes we have on offer, apart from A-levels, We also have our combined studies programme. So this is an alternative to A-level. This is something you could do over 2 or 1 years. If you have just got your GCSEs and they're not quite ready for A-level, then you could do a mix of retake GCSE and maybe do a strand of the combined studies or a strand of A-level. And in that case, you could then do our 2-year programme, which means that you can progress through the course. Now, we also could take you at the end of year 12 if you have done year 12 and you feel that A-levels are not for you and you want to switch into our 1-year programme. We have the universities listed at the bottom that accept the combined studies programme for home students. So Aston, Chester, Keele, Liverpool, John Moores, Newcastle for pharmacy, Teesside, Plymouth, UCLan, Dundee for engineering and York St John. And that list is forever growing. So that's a sample of some very good universities that take the programme. So in terms of the combined studies programme, the alternative level 3 to the traditional A-level, then you've got all the different strands listed there, very similar to the A-level subjects. And so that means that you've got a really good choice. The main difference with the combined studies programme is that it's modular. So you choose 2 of the subjects with key skills, and instead of taking exams at the end of 2 years or 1 year, you take them as we go along. So we take them in December, we take them in March, we take them in June, and you are able to resit a couple of units. Now that's very, very attractive if you find exams more difficult or if they worry you a lot more. It allows you to build your score. You're not competing with anyone for grades, you're just aiming for a percentage score. And typically universities are going to be asking from 45% upwards on the programme, depending on the course and whether it's a degree or a degree with a foundation year. Courses like, say, psychology at York St John would want 70%, for example. Aston for business, 65%. So you can see you get quite a range of scores. Now, some of you may well be very interested in sport. I know that a lot of you enjoy sport, and we do academic programmes with sport. We've been running our football programme for several years, and we now have availability in other sports coming online as we progress. So what you do is you can do your lessons in the morning, and in the afternoon you can play sport. We do football, and we'll be doing basketball from January. You don't have to be a professional. You don't have to be aspiring to be professional. You just want to do it because you love the sport and you're prepared to play. Probably every day, but you can do 2 to 5 days a week in the afternoon. And we've had over 20 students on that programme this academic year. So it is something that could add an extra to what you're doing, especially if you maybe do our combined studies programme and you want to have a step away from what you've been doing before. Okay, so in terms of guidance and individual support, we obviously, most of the students that come to us to do A-levels or combined studies do want to go to university. So basically what we will do from the get-go is make sure that we guide you to having the best university course that you can, and also that you are becoming an effective learner equipped for university. And through success in the sixth form, we help support you in developing the skills that you need to be successful at university. We have an Oxfordshire University preparation programme for those students for whom that's suitable. And a lot of students do come to us because they want to do medicine. So what we actually find here is that we have the medical preparation programme is really quite important to students. So if we take a look moving forward, what we can see is that medicine is a popular programme for our students. Medicine, dentistry, veterinary science, pharmacy. Now, it doesn't take me to tell you that it's very competitive to get into those courses. So it is important that we set off on the right track. You do need good GCSE results to get into medicine. There are other routes. Then you've got the Ucas and the BMAT test. You've also need to get your relevant work experience. We'll prepare you for interview. We do the multi-mini interviews, and we will teach you on a course that runs alongside this about medical ethics, current health topics, or what could be more topical than COVID, and healthcare systems, so that you're really prepared for that application, because that's a big part of time when you want to apply for a course like that. Now, if we take a look at the next slide, we can see that so far that students have gone into these universities this year and in 2019. So those are some of the destinations of our students to medical school. And if you take a look at the next slide here, You can see the kinds of universities at Russell Group universities that our students are being offered the places at and have confirmed their offers at, and other universities that are very popular below. So Manchester University is a very popular destination for our students. We do find a lot of students want to stay in the Northwest. So Manchester, Liverpool, maybe going over the hills to Sheffield, to Leeds, you know, it is popular in terms of the universities that students go to, but as well, they like maybe to go south, go to London, or maybe to the Midlands, to Aston or Kiel, or maybe further north if you fancy going up to Scotland, or you fancy going up nearer Newcastle or to Lancaster, or, you know, locations away. But nevertheless, being I'd say quite a Northwest centred destinations list is often quite common. So what sort of degrees do people do? Okay, so in our class of 2020, our degrees included architecture, engineering, natural sciences, pharmacy, biomedical science, medicine, law, economics, midwifery, religion, philosophy, art, you know, all of those things labelled there, you know, and more. So you can see we're serving a very diverse degree pathway with the subjects that we're able to offer. So you must be thinking, what are our plans for opening in September 2020? Here's our reception area. And what we're going to be doing is we have modified things a little. So first of all, we've modified the times of the college day. So travelling to and from college, a lot of our students obviously do that. Our Riverside students will be brought in on the bus. But for our home students and those that live with family or guardians, you'll be travelling in by the bus, by the tram, by the train. So we're starting classes a little bit later, 9:40, to give more time for travelling in. And then we will run our face-to-face classes until 1:20. And at that point, it's lunchtime, and we will then say to everyone, go home now. And in the afternoon, we will run our afternoon lessons remote live in Teams. So in essence, we will be doing exactly what I'm doing now, except your class will be live on Teams with your teacher. And those lessons will run 2:40 to 5:40. Now, why are we doing this? Well, we're doing it for two reasons. Number one, safety is paramount. And number two, we believe that will give good educational quality. We've put an extra lesson into each of our courses per week, so there's more contact time, because we want to make up for any gaps that have occurred in terms of study that may have not happened in year 11 or 12. And also we know that, you know, that there will be more adaptation time needed when you haven't been in school for quite some time. So that's the college day. Now, the building itself is very safe. We have, on entering the college, you will socially distance, we'll check your temperature. There's a one-way system around the college. All the classrooms are set up so that they're socially distanced, and there are wipes and so on in every room. Now, in terms of the college day, when you finished your lessons, you leave the college. People aren't to be going out of the building and back in. We just want that one-way circulation. Our Riverside students will be provided with a packed lunch, and obviously any home students can bring their own food. Hygiene and cleaning, we'll be cleaning very frequently all the communal areas. We have sanitising stations around the college everywhere. We've got bins in each classroom for wipes, computer wipes, and you can wear face coverings as you wish within the classroom, gloves, whatever you feel comfortable with. And you can wipe your desk down at the beginning and the end of the lesson. So everything's in place. So when do we start college? Well, we start with our student induction, our academic induction, from the 7th to 11th of September. What I will say to every single student who enrolls at the college is you need your own laptop. In the modern age, with the fact that some of the lessons are going to be remote and the way that people are learning now, you need a laptop. Because when you get enrolled to the college, you will get a login, which gives you an Abbey College email address and allows you to get the whole Microsoft Office suite, including Microsoft Teams. So our academic induction will all be online, and that will be done Microsoft Teams. The week before, we'll be sending your logins, and then you will get invites from your teachers and your heads of house and your tutors, so that you will have Teams meetings with each of your teachers and your classes, assemblies with your heads of house, and meetings with your tutors, so that you can all get to know each other. And if you are in year 13, you will get Ucas Support. Then from the 14th of September, we will start lessons. Okay, so that's the way that we will be operating from the 14th of September. Face-to-face lessons will start. So I do appreciate that you've come on the webinar today. Thank you for listening. And if you've got any questions, please do type them in the chat, and then we will gather those together and I will answer them the best I can. Thank you.
Thanks, Liz. If anyone does have any questions, please feel free to post them. At the moment, we don't have any questions coming through, so I think you've done a great job. Answered everyone's questions. Tori, I don't know if you had any questions from your side that you've received beforehand or anything like that.
Yeah, there's just one question. Well, a question we received beforehand. It was about the GCSE one-year course. If you're sort of retaking, is there some kind of entry requirement for that course? What are you sort of looking for a student that's going to progress onto that course?
Okay, so I think for the one-year GCSE reset course, most of the students that come to us are on the kind of 4 zone, possibly with a 5 and possibly with a 3. So they're generally trying to improve their grades in order that they can get onto a level 3 course. I think if your grades are lower than that, then you ought to look at a BTEC, probably a level 2 BTEC in a college, be more suitable for you.
Okay, that's great. And what about for our sort of international students? What are you looking for an English perspective?
From an English perspective, for GCSE, we'd be looking at kind of 4.5 on the IELTS, which would be a sort of suitable point for the GCSE course. And of course, we can be a little bit more flexible. I mean, we'd offer academic English and possibly another block of English to support, depending on the level of English for an international student.
Okay, right. No, that's all the questions that we had sent in beforehand, and I think we're fine and haven't had any other questions come through. So obviously, we had a very comprehensive presentation that everyone's understood. So Liz, thank you very much indeed. As we have said, the presentation has been recorded, so we will make a recording available for those of you who may wish to sort of look back and refresh yourself on the information that we've had there. So all that really remains to say is good luck to everyone for GCSE results. And please don't hesitate to get in touch with us if you have any questions that you'd like answered on a more sort of one-to-one level after the presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tori, and to reiterate the good luck message, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.